Am I online? Yes. Am I online? Hello everyone. Hello everyone. I'm very grateful to all of you for finding time and joining the conversation. It's a Sunday. It's a Sunday's stream, and the main topics for today's conversation is Middle East and risks that entire region may be engulfed in the conflict. And just in last several hours, we had additional news reportings and indicators that exactly that may happen, and region may get involved in this confrontation between Israel and Palestine. And of course, second topic of conversation is Ukrainian crisis. There are also quite interesting news is coming in about Ukrainian. Dear friends, you can also suggest any other topic for a conversation. As you know, I'm quite actively monitoring chat, and when I will see a question, I will try to answer on it. I will just ask you to write in capital letters, if possible, your question, or at least capital Q before the question, so that it will be a little bit easier for me to see the question itself. So we can go through some questions first, and then hello everyone, hello once again, and thank you very much for participating in the conversation. So we can try this way. If I see any questions, I will of course answer to those questions, and if there are no questions, then I will go through some headlines that Russian media did report. Eric Nelson is writing in the chat that I'm American living in the North Africa, and I converted to Islam about weeks before this all started. Crazy times. Times are definitely very dangerous. Very dangerous. That can anytime escalate to whole new level. And dear friend, congratulations to finding your way to God. I'm not really a religious person too much, so I don't know which is appropriate words to congratulate, but my congratulations. Greetings from Romania. Thank you very much. Florida here. Salute from Florida. B is writing, good morning, Sunday morning from Calgary, Canada. Canada with us. Thank you very much for your attention. We are from all over the world, dear friends. Good evening from Saudi Arabia. Mark Clift is writing, good evening. From Montenegro, Radmila Mijanic is writing, good evening, Radmila, thank you for your attention. So yes, we are from all over the world, dear friends. And Eric Nelson is asking question, what do you think will happen to NATO if Turkey continues to support Palestine? Well, Turkey is a force to be reckoned with, that's for sure. And well, NATO is already struggling when it comes to finding purpose for this organization, and to finding unity, as we all did see this constant propaganda of Western world to somehow demonize Russia as they possibly can. Did not really work that well, because several countries, by the way, are not standing with this ruling Western class. In particular, Turkey, for example, or also we can mention Hungary, which is also NATO member states, and I guess there are several other states in NATO that are not really happy that they have been drawn to this confrontation with Russia. At this point, it's not direct confrontation, and let's hope there will be no direct confrontation, but NATO's involvement, indirect involvement in this conflict is undoubtedly a fact. And well, when it comes to relationship between Turkey and NATO, it's difficult to say. It's beneficial for Turkey to be part of NATO. Beneficial in many ways. They can receive some technologies, modern weaponry, and then conduct some reverse engineering. It's also beneficial for Turkey from economical standpoint because they can have some easy way to enter European market for Turkish products. So even if current leadership of Turkey is not really, and there are many other reasons, by the way, not just access to European market or access to weapons and technologies from the NATO member states. There's many other topics. Also, for example, Turkey is in very difficult situation or relationships with Greece. Both countries are NATO members, and if Turkey will leave NATO, I guess Greece will use this opportunity to possibly escalate with Turkey, and I don't think Ankara really wants to end up in such a situation. And there can be a number of other reasons also, and Turkey's involvement in NATO is also beneficial for NATO itself, because they are using Turkey, especially Washington and London, by the way, to achieve some geopolitical interests in several regions worldwide, especially in Turkic-speaking countries. And as we all know, Central Asian republics, with the exception of Tajikistan, by the way, all of them are Turkish or Turkic-speaking, and the Turkish influence in those states are quite impressive, I will say this way. I remind you that when Soviet Union collapsed, several republics find themselves as independent states first time in their history, at least under current names, and among them are Tajikistan, which is Iranian-speaking state mainly. There is Kazakhstan, Turkic-speaking nation, Turkmenistan, also Turkic-speaking nation, Kyrgyzstan, and Uzbekistan. All of them, yet again, with the exception of Tajikistan, are Turkic-speaking, and Turkey has quite impressive influence in that region. And Washington and London, of course, want to use that region, especially states that are bordering China, to maybe penetrate northern western parts of China sometime in the future with some extremist forces and some ideology to destabilize this region of China, because the confrontation between superpowers are not always highly visible. There are many things are happening in terms of geopolitics that cannot be seen easily, but they definitely are connected with this geopolitical confrontation between the superpowers. So, well, all this being said, I think at some point Turkey will just back down. Ankara will escalate until certain point with Israel, but then Erdogan will be forced to back down, because he will have no other options really. And same will happen with all the other regional powers. I don't think any of them are planning to get involved in this confrontation between Israel and Palestine in a full force. and I don't think any of them will get involved in force if are not provoked. And that's a whole different topic of conversation, because there may be some provocations, and we definitely have some indicators that possibly this ruling class of the West will use this escalation between Israel and Palestine to destabilize entire region, especially to strike Iran directly or indirectly, and to shut down shipping in the Persian Gulf. Also, hopefully I did answer to your question. What next question is Laidlaw is asking, do you have a locals channel, LGO Opinion? Yes, I have a channel, LGO Opinion, but because locals, if I'm not mistaken, operates with some platform to withdraw funds, donations from subscribers. Locals using platform that is not feasible for me. I cannot have an account on that platform because you need a bank account in Western states, and because I don't have a bank account in Western states, I just cannot use locals. That's how it is. But I did create LGO Opinion, if I'm not mistaken, some time ago on locals, but because of this nuance, I just cannot be active on the locals. And locals is like Patreon, as I understand. That platform is used by creators to receive some support from members of community. So yes, if you see LGO Opinion on the locals without any activity on that page, that's probably mine, because I don't think I ever write something there, except with the exception of greeting everyone. Greetings to everyone. So let's see some questions. Question. Saleh is writing, hi everyone from Malaysia. Hello there, greetings to you. Do you think the war will spread to all the Middle East? Thanks. Unfortunately, I think risk is quite high, and on daily basis we are receiving more and more indicators that possibly there will be some provocation against to provoke direct confrontation between Hezbollah and Israel first, and then to somehow provoke Iran's involvement in this escalation. Maybe some strikes will be carried out on Iran itself, and that will provoke Iran to get involved. Maybe some other ways will be found by Western so-called elites to provoke this regional confrontation, but risk is quite high in my understanding. And as I will go in several minutes time through news, I will definitely share with you additional information that will just confirm exactly what I just said, that risks are high, tension is over the roof between the sides, and very strong statements have been made in Israel and Iran today, by the way. Also questions. John did write that he did came into stream to hit that like button and to he is a biker, as I understand, and he has to spend some time with bike to ride around. Well, good afternoon, And thank you, John, for all the support that I receive from you. Many of you, dear friends, are familiar with John, one of the veterans of our community. And well, reflect while is asking, is a U.S. war with Iran? It all depends. It all depends how this how provocation will be conducted and by whom. At some point, if direct conflict will erupt between Iran and Israel, I guess U.S. will definitely participate directly to target Iran. For this purpose, they probably send this quite impressive fleet into the Mediterranean, and also, as I mentioned in several previous updates, additional aircrafts were deployed to Middle East, and also amphibious forces. So I don't think all this was done by Pentagon or Washington just to send a simple message to Hezbollah or Iran to stay out of this conflict, because they are. If they wanted to get involved directly in this confrontation, they will probably start their operations from very beginning, but it didn't happen. And at this point, all we see is this borderline clashes between Hezbollah and Israeli forces. And both sides are claiming that they are just conducting retaliatory strikes. But Hezbollah at this point, in large, stays out of full-scale confrontation with Israel. Daniel Zucher is asking, do you think UN Security Council is able or will be able to take a resolution on Palestine? No. There was already 2 attempts to take a resolution to Security Council. One was draft from Russian side, draft resolution, and US and UK did block that resolution, and the second draft resolution was from Brazil, by the way, and Brazil's resolution was also blocked by permanent members of Security Council, US and UK, probably France also. I'm not quite sure about it, but probably. So I don't think, as long as US and UK are opposing ceasefire in that region, I don't think any resolution will pass Security Council. That's unfortunate reality that we are living in. And by the way, even if there will be any resolution, do anybody thinks that Israel will obey? Of course not, because UN already had quite a few resolutions when it comes to Palestine and Israel, but Tel Aviv did not care to obey those resolutions that much. So Charlie Sparta is writing, USA lost free speech. Well, that's a quite strong statement. Of course, there is independent thinkers in US, respectful thinkers worldwide, and especially in independent or alternative media, that you can hear their voices. But in general, if you are talking about mainstream media of US, it's something unbelievable, man. It's worse than Soviet mainstream media, by the way. That's how I think, because Soviet mainstream media at least were quite correct when they were writing about something outside of Soviet Union, when it was about some developments in the rest of the world, although they were suppressing any negative news about some issues inside the Soviets. But when you take a look of US MSM these times, by the way, it's I mean, they are lying constantly about everything. I mean, it seems like not just internal situation, but also about outside world. And that's why I'm quite skeptical, to be honest, that it will be possible to wake up vast majority of society in the Western world, because this pressure from MSM is just probably unbelievable. And if people don't want to really know what is going on, and if they did not put some effort in this to look at the internet, look at for independent creators, then I don't think that they will ever be able to wake up. I don't know, man. USMSM is something out of this world, man. I never imagined things will go so bad when it comes to US media or Western media in general, by the way. Take a look at the European mainstream media outlets. They are just, I don't know. They used to have a name, by the way, reputation, some 20, 30 years ago. But now it's just total mess, though. And unfortunately, censorship is very high also in the West. Well, almost all independent voices have been censored in the West, isn't it? There are so many attempts to somehow shut down Joe Rogan and his platform. And Joe Rogan is the most popular creator or blogger in the world for a while now. There are attempts to shut down Jimmy Dore. There are attempts to shut down Jackson Hinkle, for example. Just recently, Russell Brand in Europe was demonetized by YouTube, and there was some attempt to shut him up also. You name it, Any independent creator experiencing serious difficulties in the West, which is quite unfortunate, because they are force that could lead not just in the West, but in worldwide when it comes to this alternative media and independent complex thinking. But Western so-called elites are using all the means in their disposal to censor as many people as possible. Some questions. Question from Blue Bear. Anything new about US destroyer that allegedly shut down Yemen cruise missiles and drones in the Red Sea? No, I did not see any news in Russian media outlets, at least, about any more strikes on US Navy assets. Although by the way, there are on daily basis now reports that US bases in Syria, in northern Syria, and in Iraq are under constant fire from some different military groups. Oh, excuse me, something is wrong here. Am I online again? Okay, looks like I'm on. Sorry, dear friends. Something went wrong big time. Oh, I'm froze. So what should I do? I will try something now. Well, that's technical issues, dear friends. Is it okay now? Well, sorry, dear friends. Sorry, dear friends, about this. That's what happens when you don't really have a good enough equipment. But hopefully I'm back. Wow, that was intense. After all, I just this is my 7th or 8th live stream, and this is the first time when I had some technical issues during the live stream, and I didn't even really knew what to do. But somehow I just turned off OBS Studio and open it again, and seems like it's working. So yes, I did see your comments. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, you know. Okay, let's continue with our main topics. And dear friends, if I may, let me share with you some additional news, and then we can continue discussion, in real time. As I said, they're quite significant statements, and well, I will share with you first of all this information that about an hour ago, Israeli army made a statement that one of the Israeli tanks by mistake opened fire in a border crossing between Gaza and Egypt, and the Egyptian side checkpoint was damaged. At least fire was in the direction of that checkpoint, and the Israeli side apologized, according to press release from IDF, Israeli Defense Ministry. I find it difficult to understand how it's even possible to fire from the tank by mistake and exactly in the direction of Egyptian checkpoint. But who knows, things have happened, and maybe that was truly mistake. I don't know, you tell me what you think about it. But very unfortunate development, of course, one that may indicate that Israeli military personnel has some instructions, maybe, to conduct itself in certain ways, and maybe because of that instruction some tanks were locked and ready to fire in certain directions, and in that case something could go wrong, and it did go wrong. Anyway, let's continue. TASS news agency is reporting, dear friends, that 17 trucks with aid did cross Rafah border crossing between Egypt and Gaza Strip, which is 17 trucks. I mean, it's good that at least some humanitarian aid is getting to Palestinians, but 17 trucks? They need 1,700 trucks, by the way, right now, immediately, to receive enough food, enough water, some warm clothes, just medicine, just everything. 17 trucks? I mean, what is this? I don't know. But maybe some additional humanitarian aid will enter Gaza Strip. Let's see. And dear friend, this is the news that I was talking about just a few minutes ago. TASS news agency did report about statement that Anthony Blinken made, head of US State Department, and well, according to him, Israel is in no position to agree on status quo, to go back to status quo in Gaza. And well, many people in this world may find this statement of Anthony Blinken as a call for genocide, because what he even means by this statement, what Israel should do, force out from Gaza Strip all the local residents, or starve to death all of them, or what? What he means that Israel cannot go back to status quo. Why not? But I mean, you tell me. Under pretext of fighting Hezbollah, I'm afraid Israel will definitely try to force out all the locals from Gaza Strip. And well, this escalation from the very beginning was indicating to me that something like that was in plans of Netanyahu's government. And I said this straight away, isn't it? And many of you probably did notice it. Very strange statement from Blinken, and I don't think this kind of words will be received by this world in large with any understanding, because instead of calling for ceasefire and de-escalation, current leadership of US is doing exactly the opposite, calling basically indirectly to further escalation, towards further escalation. And dear friends, this is also a very interesting statement and dangerous statement. RT is reporting that head of Israel, Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, did make statement that if Hezbollah will get involved in this confrontation, Israel will deal with Hezbollah hardly, and it will be beginning of the end of Hezbollah. So very strong words, from Netanyahu. But yet again, are these words exactly for the Hezbollah or just for the world? And can we see this statement from Netanyahu as a preparation of the ground, media preparation of the ground for upcoming provocation that will draw Hezbollah into this confrontation, and then possibly Iran? Because at this point, from the beginning of this escalation and until now, we only see some borderline clashes between Hezbollah and Israeli forces. And if Hezbollah was in any ways involved with Hamas in this operation, then it's just, I mean, it would be logical to assume that Hezbollah will also attack simultaneously, but they did not. And probably they were quite surprised to see what Hamas was doing. And why Hezbollah is not getting involved right now, if they want to, or if they have had such plans. But yet again, this type of statements, by the way, and also constant increase in manpower and military equipment by Israel towards northern regions of state, and the evacuation of borderline settlements, definitely tells that something has been in preparation. Something is in preparation, and maybe this something is exactly the provocation against Hezbollah, after which this organization will be forced to get involved in this escalation, and then we will see US is involvement in all of this. And dear friends, Lloyd Austin, head of a US military, did make statement today during his interview with ABC, or if I'm not mistaken, during his interview to one of the US mainstream media outlets, that US may get involved if in case if a third party, including Hezbollah, will begin full-scale operations against Israel. Yet again, both statements from Netanyahu and from Lloyd Austin definitely indicates to me that something has been in preparation. Something gonna happen in coming days to provoke Hezbollah and possibly Iran. That's how I read this type of statements, because otherwise these words from Netanyahu don't make any sense, because Hezbollah is out of this confrontation in large. So why you are saying to someone who is not engaged fully in confrontation with you, why you are saying or threatening them, why you are saying that you will destroy them if they will get involved, when maybe they don't even have such idea. But anyway, let's continue. And this is also one more news that indicates possible regional scale escalation. RIA Novosti is reporting that Israel did threaten to Iran, by the way. Israel did threaten Iran with attack if Hezbollah will get involved in this, yet again Hezbollah, by the way, if Hezbollah will get involved in this escalation in full force. Once again, only understanding of mine of such a type of statements, and this one was made by Nir Barkat, who is Minister of Economy and Industrial Developments of Israel. So only sense this statement does makes to me if some provocations are planned. So they are preparing ground with media to not just attack Hezbollah, but also to strike Iran. How else we can interpret such statements? And by the way, we have a response here. RIA Novosti report that Iran did also threaten Israel with retaliation if Iran will become under fire, because they do understand, I guess, in Tehran that something is going on. Israel and its allies, mainly Washington, are preparing some provocations, and well, they are getting ready for this. And there was some reports that Iranian militaries began some movements, and even some ballistic missile sites have been activated, which is definitely quite a scary development. And well, as I said, ambassador of Iran in Spain, Reza Zabib, did make a statement that if Israel will conduct some crazy move and against Iran, then Tehran will be forced to react on this, and Israel will regret these anti-Iranian steps. So definitely something is in preparations, dear friends. And well, just take a look at the map, and everything, to me, it's everything is quite clear straight away. Washington and London wants to provoke regional conflict, especially to shut down shipping in the Persian Gulf and cut off China from energy sources from Middle East. That's what Washington and London wants to do. And I repeat myself that every single day, by the way, through Persian Gulf, more than 10 million barrels of oil is exported. I will not give you exact number right now, but it's definitely more than 10 billion. Maybe it's like 15 billion, because it's not just Saudi Arabia that exports its oil from this region, but also Iran, of course, also Kuwait, Iraq, United Arab Emirates, you name it. All regional states are exporting vast majority of their crude oil or gas, by the way. And when it comes to gas or LNG, of course, Qatar, this small state, is a world's leading exporter of LNG. And which country is the main buyer? China. And globalist in general. And dear friends, Financial Times, if I'm not mistaken, did write about possibility that Europe may end up in energy crisis, and prices for gas especially may rise significantly if situation will escalate in the Middle East. And why Financial Times is writing about it? Because there is a possibility that if this conflict goes regional, then of course Persian Gulf will no longer be open for shipping, and Qatar, by the way, will no longer be able to export its LNG. And of course Europe is one of the main buyers of Qatar's LNG. But I don't think US and London, or Washington and London, do care about continental Europe, by the way, and their economies. They definitely don't. Let's continue with some other news, and this is very sad news. RIA Novosti is reporting that according to reports of Gaza local government in Gaza Strip, which is affiliated with Hamas, obviously, already 1.5 million residents of Gaza were forced to flee their homes. 1.5 million, by the way. And if this, one may say that this number is inflated, maybe, but even if it's 500,000, it's already a huge tragedy, human tragedy, and definitely indicator that Netanyahu's government is planning to force out of Gaza Strip all the local residents. Well, let me now, and next I will share with you some news about situation in Ukraine. We can also check in real time main Russian news agencies. This is RIA Novosti. Well, in main news, of course, this recent incident when Israeli tank did fire towards Egyptian towards Egypt's checkpoint on border with Gaza. And well, I will share with you this information also in a minute. Quite interesting news. So let's see what's happening in the chat, if any questions. So what I miss while I was sharing news. Dear friends, it's 160 of us right now on the stream. That's what I see, at least. Thank you very much. If any questions, for participating in the stream. And well, let's have some chat now about any topic, really. Let's go through questions. Oh, dear friends, I did not even mention that. I forget about it. That if you want your question to be read for sure 100%, or your comment, you can use this platform. I forget the name of this platform. Donation alerts. Yes, that's it. So let me open that page. You can use donation alert, dear friends. You can see link under this video in description box, and you can send not just support my work, but also send any question, really. And 13 minutes ago there was a question. Thanks God I did remember about it. Wow. And dear friends, if you don't know this donation alert platform and want to use some other one, you can use, I don't know, Buy Me Coffee. If you want your question to be read during the live stream or comment, you can just send any message through Buy Me Coffee. Also, I will open mail right now, and if any notification from Buy Me Coffee, I will also read that in real time. So, and now let me read this question. Oscar, thank you very much for your donation. Thank you. And question is, China is sending 6 naval vessels to Middle East. Do you think China will intervene in case Israel-USA attack on Iran? Extremely important question, dear friends. I wanted to speak about it. I did share this information on my Telegram just about hours ago. And well, thank you, Oscar, once again for your donation and this extremely important question. I don't think China will get involved in this conflict, but I was thinking that China, if I was Chinese leadership, on place of Chinese leadership, I will send my fleet to Persian Gulf, to western part of Indian Ocean, basically, to make sure that no country will attack Iran. Exactly because this shipping route and shipping would not be distracted in the Persian Gulf. Exactly because it's so important for Chinese economy. It has strategic meaning, and just about, I don't know, hour or 2 hours ago, I did see this news, which I did share on my Telegram page, that China, from Oman, by the way, redirected its 6 naval ships. These ships were on conducting some patrol operations to make sure that shipping in the Red Sea area is and the eastern coast of Africa is safe and secure. And then several ships enter Oman. There were some exercises between Omanese Navy and Chinese Navy, and then these ships, Chinese ships, unexpectedly take different course, and they are moving up, presumably towards Persian Gulf. Well, this is a warning from China, I guess. This is warning for China to don't mess with shipping in the Persian Gulf and with Iran. But I'm not quite sure if this is enough. I'm not quite sure if this is enough. And when I was thinking about it, my thought was that if Russian fleet will also join China to secure peace in the Persian Gulf region, that may work. Because of course it's not in the Russia's interests, obviously, things to escalate in scale of entire region and that shipping route to be shut down through Persian Gulf, because in that case China will end up in extremely difficult situation. Chinese economy will end up in a very difficult situation, and Chinese dependence on Russian energy will reach just immense heights, which is not really good for any of the countries. Because China will always, in that case, be extremely cautious with Russia, exactly because Russia will be only major source of energy for China. So it's not in Russian interests to see any destruction of situation in the Middle East. And if Russian fleet will also join Chinese ships, that may play some role of deterrence in the region. But when it comes to involvement, I don't think China or Russia will get involved in any scale of development in this region, because it's just I mean, it will be straight up Third World War. So I mean, maybe Western so-called elites are crazy enough to provoke such a scale of escalation, but I don't think the leadership of Russia and China are that on the same page. I think Russia and China will definitely try to avoid any large-scale confrontation with nuclear powers, if possible. But topic is, yes, question is immensely important. Let's see what will be Chinese next moves. Maybe they will send some additional force in that region, aircraft carrier, for example, some nuclear submarines. because they definitely need to keep peace in that region, definitely, because this Persian Gulf has immense meaning for China. Questions. Wovin is writing that it's amazing. We can even see you in Canada because of all the censorship now. Well, it's hard to disagree with you. At some point, I was thinking that maybe my channel will be blocked by some Western countries, my channel specifically. And I was thinking that because some members of our community did write to me that they cannot open my channel in their countries. I cannot exactly remember which country was that, but that's a possibility. Even though our community is quite tiny, really. It's only 18,800 of us right now, little more. And well, why should any Western state take us as a danger? They don't like any free thinkers, really. But they are probably more focused in bigger communities with hundreds and hundreds of thousands of viewers. But maybe they will target our community also and this channel also. I will definitely would not be surprised. Zesa is writing, how do I send you 3,400 euros? Wow. It's a joke, I guess. Thank you, Zesa. I appreciate your humor. I am here for Avdiivka. I will just share with you. Fortuna Minecraft is writing. I will just share with you in several minutes all the reports that we have about Ukraine. I spoke about Middle East, and next will be, of course, Ukraine. Or let me share with you some news about Ukraine straight away, and then we can continue conversation in real time. So let me update this. So no questions on donation alert. So next is Ukraine, and well, dear friends, latest news is that several hours ago Russian air defense systems shut down three Ukrainian missiles in Crimean direction, and the governor of Kherson region, Vladimir Saldo, did report about it. No information about any casualties on the ground or about type of missiles that Russian air defense system did shut down. Maybe before tomorrow morning we will learn some more about this, and of course I will share with you additional information. Also, dear friends, TASS news agency is reporting that in Ukraine, women are beginning to flee their jobs, their workplaces in mass, according to some reports, because Kyiv regime is demanding now from women that have any medical or pharmaceutical experience to go to enlistment offices and registered as reservists. And well, because of this development, I guess yet another wave of refugees from Ukraine will begin nowadays, and the majority of them will try to flee somewhere from Ukraine. Yet again, additional indicator that Kyiv regime is becoming more and more desperate by each day. When it comes to situation on the front line, We can check right now, by the way, Reaper channel, and I will share with you latest from Reaper. Well, he has additional information that during that missile attack on Crimea, also air raid warning were sounded in Zaporozhye regions and Berdyansk, but no reports about any missiles in those directions, at least for now. Also, by the way, probably you already know now information about Russian strike on Novaya Pochta company of Ukraine. Formally, it's a logistic company, but in reality, I did share on my Telegram page, by the way, a video. Let me check it right now. I did share video of not just a strike on that postal company, but also and this is, by the way, what am I talking about? This is some photo material, and this is video of a strike previous night, and this is, by the way, video how trucks of that company were used by Kyiv regime. As it looks like they are delivering some civilian stuff. No. So Russia had all the legal right to consider this company as a military asset of Kyiv regime, and Russia had every right to target it, and that's what Russian side did. And Reaper is reporting about this stuff also. And when it comes to Avdiivka, by the way, that's it, by the way. Well, Reaper is not writing about any particular operations, any particular success in Avdiivka direction, because, as I said in the morning's update, dear friends, Russian side is now more or less are concentrated to reinforce positions that it managed to regain during the offensive operations. It's some drone fights, constantly artillery duels between the sides. Today, at some point, one of the Telegram channels did report that Russian forces did enter Avdiivka itself, but I did not see any other channel that was reporting it. I did not see any video or photo material about it, so I guess that was some mistake on part of that channel. No significant changes at this point in Avdiivka direction. In about hours or 2 hours time, probably military summary will share with us additional information with with videos and geolocations, and probably we will learn some more. But when it comes to large-scale offensive operations of Russian side, I did not see any report in Russian media that any breakthrough were achieved during the previous, let's say, 12 hours. So it's nothing in the scale that will influence overall situation on the front line. There is not much to say really at this point. My understanding is, by the way, that Avdiivka will be used by Russian side as a second Bakhmut, and seems like Ukrainian leadership or the Kyiv regime is failing for this trap once again. And I watched Alexander Mercury's take. I listened to his take on this situation, and he also mentioned that it's quite possible that Russian side will use Avdiivka as a second Bakhmut, smaller version of the Bakhmut, which is definitely a possibility. So let me check here. So yes, that's it. And now let's talk about some news. By the way, I will check this agency here. No significant changes, and also this. So yes, no breaking news for this moment. Main news when it comes to Ukraine at this time is that these 3 missiles were shot down by Russian Air Force in Crimea direction, and Russian diplomats are checking information that Russian family were killed in sector in the Gaza Strip. Quite sad news. As I reported in morning's update, at this point Russian media is reporting about 20 Russian citizens that were killed during this escalation in Israel. And well, let's have a chat now. How long is this? It's hour, by the way. It's hour long already, this stream. And well, let's have some exchange of opinions now. Several more questions, and I will end this stream. Questions. Так. Questions. Oh, it's nice to see that members of our community having chat and having fun in the chat. That's great, man. I always say we are unique community. We are very friendly. There is minimum toxicity on our channel. And day before yesterday, in previous update, that's why I did ask everyone to just stay friendly and maintain this kindness and kind attitude towards other members of community, especially when we have different opinions. So yes, Dave Monkey is writing, put questions in capitals so that everyone can see it easier. Yes, if you can, please, because I may miss some questions. Quite possibly I did, but I just find it hard to understand where these questions are. And let me also check here. And also here. So, okay. What are the Ukrainian casualties around Avdiivka? White Falcon is writing. Well, it's hard to tell exactly when it comes to numbers. Different channels reporting different numbers, and it's all speculation. It's all speculation, really, because I did not see any report in Russian media from Russian Defense Ministry, let's say. All we know at this point is that during the previous 10 days, Ukrainian side lost up to 7,000 military personnel, some 300 different type of military vehicles from tanks to armored personnel carriers and just pickup trucks, and also a few dozens of artillery pieces. But when it comes to exactly Avdiivka direction, how many from this 7,000 were killed or wounded exactly in Avdiivka direction, hard to tell. If there will be any statements from Russian Defense Ministry, of course I will report about it in main updates and on the main channel. Will Russia attack West pipelines after Nord Stream attack? Well, and by the way, when it comes to Avdiivka, both sides have significant casualties in that battle. Both sides, because that area was heavily fortified by Ukrainian forces, and this offensive operation from Russian side, of course, did not go without any casualties, and dozens of military equipment were destroyed or damaged, and of course casualties among Russian side also is significant. Although Russian Defense Ministry are not sharing information about it, about Russian casualties, but you cannot conduct offensive operation without, especially offensive operations, without significant number of casualties, no matter how good your military personnel is. Whenever you are attacking severely fortified areas, it's it's always difficult. And of course, Ukrainian side had also a big number of casualties, not just during these clashes, direct clashes, but also as a result of Russian artillery strikes, helicopter strikes, air strikes from frontline bombers, missile strikes, and so on. Before this offensive operation began to put Avdiivka in the operational encirclement, Russian side was quite active by shelling Ukrainian positions and destroying Ukrainian positions, not just for a week or two, but for several months, by the way. And also question, David King is asking, will Russia will attack Western pipelines after Nord Stream attack? Dear friends, I guess at this point, Western elites, or at least some wing of Western so-called elites, are working on idea to blame Russia for damage that was done to gas pipeline from Finland to Estonia. This local gas pipeline was damaged. I did report about it, if you remember, about a week ago. Well, I don't think Russia has anything to do with that pipeline, because it's very different scale, by the way. One is a Nord Stream pipeline, strategic pipeline, not just for Russia, but for Germany also. And second is some local pipeline between the two countries, small pipeline. Although one of the members of our community did write that pipeline was only one between Finland and Estonia, so it was quite significant in regional scale. And well, it's hard to argue with this. But when it comes to Russian retaliation, I don't think Russia has anything to do with that pipeline between Estonia and Finland. And if Russia will conduct retaliation, then probably Russia will take down not exactly the pipeline, but maybe some communication means between, let's say, Europe and North America. That would be quite a significant damage in comparable scale. But yet again, will Russia retaliate? We don't know it. I mean, as I said just a few minutes ago, Western so-called elites are willing to escalate up to, Third World War, I guess. They have no brakes. But Russian side approaches things differently, cautiously. Someone has to be adult in the room, and it's Russia at this point. When it comes to this confrontation between Russia and Western elites, someone definitely has to be adult in the room, because we are talking about nuclear powers after all. So I don't know I don't know. Will Russia attack? Maybe Russia will retaliate sometime in the future in some ways. But what it will be, I don't know. Hard to tell. Can UK citizen still visit Russia? Charlie Silverman is asking. Yes, of course. I just report in today's update that number of visas that was issued by Russian foreign ministry more than doubled in comparison to previous year when it comes to tourist visas from Europe. So yes, without doubt, UK citizens, any citizens of any European states can visit Russia, but you should keep in mind that Western bank cards will not work in Russia because Visa cards and MasterCards are not working here because they shut down their operations in Russia as a result of Western sanctions. But well, you can have some cash with you, but probably there are some more convenient ways. If you call Russian embassy, they will probably explain to you how you can deal with financial situation. And dear friend, don't trust nobody outside of embassy or official representatives of Russian state, because just to stay on safe side. Because tourist numbers from Europe increasing, I guess there are some means to use your money to pay for hotel, to pay for what you want. An embassy will probably provide that information, and as I understand, there is Zolotaya Korona payment system, and you can even send money to yourself whenever you are planning to travel to Russia. You can send money to your name in Russia, and once you are in Russia, you can take your money from Zolotaya Korona. But yet again, you need to go to office of Zolotaya Korona in your country and make sure what to do, how to do, and so on. That's a big issue when it comes to travel to Russia. There is no direct flights, and unfortunately Visa cards and MasterCards are not working in Russia, and it's really inconvenient for tourists. But probably there are some ways to deal with this issue, because how tourists are paying for anything. There should be some ways. Will Russia give North Korea and Iran advanced missiles to defend from US empire? Well, when it comes to North Korea, I'm quite sure Russia don't share any advanced missile technology, or Russia will definitely don't send any advanced missiles to North Korea. It did not happen before, and I doubt that it will happen now. When it comes to Iran, Russia and Iran are increasing improving their relationships with huge steps. By the way, just today I did read an article that two countries will probably abolish customs pay for goods when countries are exporting or importing goods from each other, which is a huge step really. It will ease for business definitely significantly to conduct trade. Russia is delivering, as I understand, some Su-35 fighter jets to Iran. Some of them maybe already are in Iran, possibly even Su-30s, and training jets for those planes already are in Iran. Yak-130, if I'm not mistaken. Training jets that are used to train pilots for Su-30 and Su-35s. But when it comes to advanced air defense systems, well, Russia made deliver to Iran some S-300s, possibly. Some years ago, there was even a contract in the place between Russia and Iran to deliver S-300s. For whatever reason, that contract did not work out, if I'm not mistaken. But Russia may definitely send some air defense systems to Iran. That's a possibility. Maybe already did send. But it's a defensive weapon, isn't it? It's not offensive weapons. And when it comes to ballistic missiles and that kind of technology, when it comes to that, Iran is already has a good enough school to produce quite capable or very capable ballistic missiles, and they did prove it quite a few times. So I'm not that sure that Iran really needs some rocket technologies from Russia when it comes to ballistic missiles. But Russia will be hesitant to share advanced technologies with missiles, especially when it comes to intercontinental ballistic missiles, because it's a strategic offensive weapon, and even if there is no treaty that can stop Russia to share that kind of technologies, no treaty between Russia and, let's say, US, still it's too dangerous. And Radmila Mijanic is writing, sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly, Alex Christoforou and Anya, Through the Eyes Of, that's channel of Anya, did describe how to manage with money in Russia. So if you are interested to travel to Russia, of course, I will recommend to go to channels of Alex and Anya and learn some more, because I just don't have enough information about it. But I have to learn it, because there's several times I was asked, and I do share what I know. But I will try to learn some more, and next time I will be more ready to share more useful information, let's say. Iran has hypersonics comment. Possibly, I did read just a few days ago that Iran has some hypersonic cruise missiles. Well, I don't know. Maybe because, as I just mentioned, they have a very good school of engineering, and they are developing missiles, definitely capable missiles. Gliders, yes. Hunger Mio writes that I want to move to Russia as an Asian American veteran. You can do it. Quite easily. Easily, it's not right word. It's always stressful, of course, to move to different state. But it's possible. It has been done by many U.S. citizens, including veterans, by the way, and many of them have channels on YouTube, and they are sharing their experience in Russia. You can check on the YouTube or Rumble U.S. veterans in Russia, and some videos will probably be visible. And so it can be done, and many citizens from the Western states are choosing Russia as a country that they want to live. So, dear friends, I will end this video now. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for participating in the conversation. Hopefully you will find this video interesting, this conversation interesting, and well, I believe it's good for our community to have at least one day at least one day during the week. On Sundays, this chat, friendly chat in real time. And dear friends, I forget to mention that unfortunately this week I was unable to invite guests. I did try though. I sent several invitations, but I didn't receive answers. So for next week, I will try to ask for interview to other people. After all, as I said, our community is quite tiny. In YouTube community, let's say, I'm not really known to many people, and maybe when they see like request for interview from me, they think, who is Levan Gudadze? And you know, so Alex Christoforou and Alexander Mercuris did agree for interview because they knew me already, because I was invited previously to their channels, and of course it helped a lot that they knew me. We had a talk before, but when it comes to other experts, I never talked to any of them, and well, I did find it difficult to communicate with them. But hopefully for next week or maybe week after, I will manage to invite new guests. So yes, this is it for now. Once again, thank you very much for participating in the conversation. Very grateful to all of you. Great chat, great community. Thank you very much. Take care.